never, I repeat, never come to Miami and order a cup of coffee from a chain. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Hi, I'm Rick Higgins. I am sitting in Miami and I am here today to help you order a cup of this goodness. Yes, you might need a couple words of Spanish, but don't worry, it's pretty easy. I'm gonna walk you through it, but before we get into this, I gotta ask you a question. Do you even know where Miami is? I mean, if you're down here ordering a cup of coffee, are you in Miami? What do you think of? The beach? Nope, you're not in Miami. That's Miami Beach. Maybe that's a good place to start. Let's figure out where you are to begin with. Those buildings back there? That's Miami. This is not Miami. This is Miami Beach, and they are very, very, very different. Allow me to explain. Miami is over on the mainland. This is on a little peninsula that's separated by the Biscayne Bay and, well, the Atlantic Ocean behind me. People here on the beach, they rarely go over to the mainland. People on the mainland rarely come over to the beach. They are indeed two different worlds. Most people sort of think of this when they think of Miami, when in reality, the vast bulk of Miami is over there on that side. So, Rick, you ask, which is better? Well, I'm glad you asked. I have lived on both sides. I have lived up in Sunny Isles Beach, which is obviously on the beach, and I have lived down in the suburbs just south of Miami. And yep, from personal experience, I can tell you, they're night and day different. For me, it's the beach. Always will be, because I'm a water kind of guy. And also, it's kind of a different lifestyle. If you're staying in a resort, a hotel, an Airbnb, just in an apartment, everything is more walkable on the beach because everything is much more compact. Yes, it's a lot more touristy over here. Yes, there's a lot more traffic over here because there's hardly any room for roads between the buildings and the water and the sand. But generally speaking, if you're into water, I would say come to the beach and go visit the mainland. But if you're kind of into the partying lifestyle, if you're into a cultural lifestyle, then flip it around, head over there and visit the beach on days that are sunnier than this. And by the way, this is Thanksgiving. It's a little bit in the 80s, a little bit overcast. The sun's trying to come out, and that is the perfect reason to come to Miami because we think it's cold when it hits 70. Coffee style number one. This is a colada. Basically, a colada is nothing but, well, a whole lot of Cuban coffee, think espresso, and a whole lot of sugar. And I do mean a whole lot of sugar. Now, we typically order these things with a tostada. A tostada is nothing more than Cuban bread filled with, well, it's supposed to be butter. It's not butter. It's sort of a mixture of margarine and lard. But as much as that sounds unappealing, it actually is really, really good. So what you do is you take not that size, you take a large pieces of your tostada and you dunk it into your colada and you start to wake up. Now, like I said, colada is basically like an espresso, except, as you can tell, it is much larger. They do give you these fun little teeny cups, and what you're supposed to do, not that anybody down here does it, is you pour a little teeny bit in a cup and you give that to your friends and they slurp it down. Sorry, it's really windy here and things are a-blowing. A real Miamian orders the whole colada and just swills it down. Like I say, there's a lot of sugar in here. If you show up to order, they're gonna go con azúcar because they're gonna know you're not from here. Con azúcar means with sugar. The answer is always yes. Okay, I will admit to you that this stuff is very, very strong. It is basically pure coffee and sugar. And if caffeine bothers you, it probably ain't your cup of tea. However, the next place we go to is probably gonna be a little more to your liking. It has this in it, but it's got some other things too. Bueno, sí. This is the real Miami. I am standing in Calle, Ocho, Little Havana. Basically, there are neighborhoods all over Miami which are very, very urban. Outside of the streets on either side, lots and lots of houses. Through here, tons of shops, tons of restaurants, tons of just about everything, and this is sort of a destination. Now, if you aren't here and you're not downtown where nobody goes, by the way, it's just sprawling suburbs. That's what we do in Florida. We have sprawling suburbs. But this is where you go when you want to experience Miami. Hi, pardon the interruption. Just want to take a quick second of your time. Didn't know if you know it, but we now have a free guide over on the website. Go to rickhiggins.com/whatever just showed up on the screen and down in the description below. Basically, it's a guide, a 7-part guide into your email box, which tells you exactly how you can do what we're doing, how you can travel full time, how you can bookend your work career with a little bit of life in the middle. And with that, let's get back to Calle Ocho and the coffee. This, my friends, is a café con leche. It is not a latte. It is not a cappuccino. It is colada. It is Cuban espresso super coffee with a little bit of steamed milk, and as you can see across the top, more than its fair share of crema. Now, because it is diluted, it is a little less caffeinated. It is no less yummy. It is very creamy. It's also really, really hot. And by the way, I hope that you can hear me. That's a problem you've got here in Miami. It's freaking loud. There's music blasting everywhere, people yelling everywhere, horns honking everywhere. It's what we do down here. Now, having said that, they saw me and they didn't put sugar in it. I don't know why. Like I say, people are gonna ask you if you want it con azúcar with sugar. I did say yes, and apparently, well, they put non-Cuban level sugar in here. Normally these things are sweet as hell, which is the way I like them because I like a little diabetes with my caffeine. Now, having said all that, there are other types of Cuban coffee you can get. You can get a Cortadito, which is essentially this with less milk in a smaller glass. You can get a cafecita, which is basically just that little shot of coffee. Sometimes they'll sell you one of those for 45 cents at a coffee window. Which brings me to the rules. There are rules in a coffee window because Miami has two speeds, glacial and hyper. So when you go up to a window, you order and then you shift. Order and shift, because they're not going to just take care of you before they get to the person behind them. There may be conversations to be had. There may be a lot of things going on. Order your coffee, shift. They'll get it to you eventually. It's just one of the joys of Miami. Either we don't move fast at all, or we run so fast that we run you over. Good to the last drop. One question I get a lot when people hear I'm from Miami is, can you get Cuban cigars? And the answer is no, you can't. You cannot get a Cuban cigar here in Little Havana even. You can get these that are grown in Nicaragua off of Cuban seed, and they're hand rolled by a Cuban in many a shop down here, and I highly recommend doing that. But can you get a Cuban cigar in Miami? Can you get a Cuban cigar anywhere in this here United States? Sadly, no. But Cuba's only 90 miles that way, so yeah, if you got a fast boat, you can get one over there. So why am I talking about the different neighborhoods of Miami and Miami Beach along with coffee? Well, they actually do kind of go together. If you're over there, over on the beach side, good luck finding coffee. You can find it, but it's in little strip malls, little shopping centers that, well, you gotta hunt for them. When you're here on the mainland, every single block has a coffee shop or a restaurant that has coffee. Everyone has coffee. You walk into, I don't know, a dry cleaner, they're gonna have Cuban coffee. So it's a big thing here. We drink it all the time. If you go to someone's house, doesn't matter if it's 11 o'clock at night, they're gonna offer you coffee. You should accept it. Con azúcar. And that, my friends, is Coffee 101 here in Miami. It's also a little glimpse into, well, when you come here, which side of the Biscayne Bay you actually want to travel to. But while we're in Florida, I want you to take a look at the video that's popping up somewhere around here. This was actually a little bit lower down in the Florida Keys. It's the time that Nikki and I went and had some stone crabs. If you're in Miami and it's in season, have the stone crabs. Trust me, you're going to want to make the trip down there to eat them. They are, oh my God, so yummy. And with that, be healthy, be happy, and we will see you soon.